Hello, creators. I'm Ben Tolson from Podia, and I'm joined today by none other than Khe Hy, the Oprah for millennials, an amazing entrepreneur and creator. Khe, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Awesome. Well, first, Ben, thank you. Good to see everyone. I am the creator of RadReads, which is an online education platform that is really originated and anchored by a blog and an email newsletter that has, over 35,000 professional knowledge workers. RadReads, like I said, we're education, and we run mostly, our main product is a cohort-based course called Supercharge Your Productivity, which helps people get more done by working smarter. And we run that 3 times a year.
I was going through your Podia site where you sell a free course, and then you also have a sign up for your cohort-based course. I was just noticing how you've positioned your products and thought it was really interesting, and thought it would be interesting for our viewers, for our audience, to know a little bit more about the thought process behind why you've positioned your products the way that you have. So I've got your website pulled up here, and I just figured we'd kind of go through one by one and get into it.
Let's do it.
Right here off the bat, you've got this free Getting Things Done, which I love that book, by the way. How to Get Things Done in 2022, nice and current. Tell me about this product, and I'm noticing that it's the first thing that you have, the first product that you're showcasing on your website.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Because everything is cohort-based, we don't have that many things to sell throughout the year, right? And we have very kind of tight launch windows, which we could talk about. So much of our activity outside of the launch windows, which is 90% of the year, is getting people to come to our free events. And we do free events for a few reasons. One is they tend to lean into my strengths, is like, I like talking, I like live teaching. They tend to stay away from my weaknesses, which is production quality. Like I would never be a good YouTuber like you, because I don't get, editing and lighting and all of that stuff. I'm very good live, not good production, and we don't have the resources. We want to offer so much free value across these topics of work prioritization, focus, mindset, to get people to say like, hey, if they give so much of this stuff for free, imagine what their paid offering must look like. And that's really kind of the philosophical way. So we try to do 1 to 2 free events every month.
So because of your cohort-based course not always being available, that you always want to have something that is free and valuable that can kind of get people into your ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what this is. And then you said this was a webinar replay. Now, when you do a new webinar, do you replace the one that's in here?
We try to keep our best, most recent free event as kind of the anchor, because it's probably the most relevant to what's happening, because it's, it has the freshest coat of paint. But again, as I was thinking through the event calendar, we have some events that are on SEO, more technical things like SEO, search engine optimization, or OKRs, that are not as broad appeal as something like Getting Things Done, that they might never make it to the front page, but we'll still aggressively promote them via email.
Well, and speaking of your cohort-based course, I wanted to move on to the next section here. And this is an email list sign up. This is a course that you host through Podia. Tell us what that course is, and then the thinking behind making it cohort-based rather than having it available all the time.
The course is called Supercharge Your Productivity. It's a 4-week course that we run 3 times a year, and it basically helps you get more done by working smarter. So instead of adding things or using brute force, it's about working smarter, removing things, and it's anchored by a productivity framework that we created called 10K Work. That is the course, and we are running our 11th cohort in October of 2022. So I believe the last number is 643 students have taken it since we started it 2 years and change ago. For me, cohorts, these started almost out of group coaching. And so this was kind of group coaching that got too successful and that needed a little bit more structure and that had growth runway. So I am not from the world of YouTube and high production stuff. I'm much more of a put me on the Zoom. I can entertain a little more. I'm better live than pre-recorded. So we just said, and I was by myself when this started. Now I have a team of 5 others. Let's lean into my strengths. My strengths are live teaching, low production, and a little more personality based with a lot of activities and exercises. So that's why we landed on the cohort model, and it's kind of worked for us. So we kind of stuck with it. It's a little scary to have like, all of your income concentrated in like 3 launches. It's like we're in like a dead period now. I'm just like watching the corporate bank account go down but I know the next launch will happen. If I remove my product hat or my teaching hat and put on my marketing hat, there are a few evergreen things that we've tried to sell, and I find it extremely difficult to sell something to convince people that they need to buy something today. The thing about a cohort-based course is like it's almost like a mini conference. It's like all this build up, but you've created real scarcity because it's only available then, and then you have to wait 4 months. And it's not like fake scarcity, like last chance type stuff. It's like, no, like it will start tomorrow, and if you're not in, you got to wait 4 months. And so I've had a very hard time replicating how to do that if the thing is always for sale. Mm-hmm. And I bet I could like learn how to, I bet there's like it's a different philosophy on how to sell a product. I don't know it at the moment. And so I think over time, like we'll consider adding it to our toolkit. But again, it's got to like serve like what our students want. And our students really enjoy the community. They really enjoy the live interaction.
So I really appreciate that you've done this twice now. You kind of given me a segue into the next thing. You mentioned your community, and we have your community feature section here. But I noticed when I looked, on most conventional web pages, when there's a section for a community, there's a learn more button or a sign up. You don't have anything like that. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm curious about that. So can you tell us a little bit? And, you probably already have some clues based on the things Khe has said about his other products as to why this is, but I'll let you go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, we're always trying to like figure out positioning for all the different products, but basically this community, the reason why there's no buy button or learn more button is that it's only available to alums of our course. We have seen with real firsthand evidence that we generate such a cool learning experience for our 640 alums. And that's where we came up with a community where we basically took the different themes from the course and like reintroduced them, like did more exercises around them and so on. But we wanted to keep that vibe, like some people have described like summer camp vibe, or like kind of everyone kind of knew each other. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to keep the summer camp vibe. And to be honest, we're still not like early iteration on what the product would look like. It's still iterating on it. And so it's an invite only community. You have to have taken our course to get invited into it, and it is managed through the Podia community platform.
I just got to say, I'm a really big fan not only of your entrepreneurship skills and the way that you talk about business and productivity, but I also love the philosophy. And so I want to just real quickly to kind of close this out. How much of your personal philosophy and approach to work-life balance and that kind of thing, how much of that plays into how you set up your business and structured your products?
I do. Well, thank you, first of all, for the kind words. I think a lot about, a lot of the course, if I just dig in a little bit, it's called Supercharge Your Productivity. But if you really dig into it, it's a course about what really matters to you and how are you going to make that happen, right? And you could use productivity as a vehicle for that. You can use money as a vehicle for that. We use productivity, but it's really like, do I know what matters? And once I know what matters, how will I make that a priority and a reality? And so that is the core of the course, which is a core thinking of our company, which emanates from a core thinking of mine. The difference or the tension there is that I used to come from a world, which is Wall Street, where none of that was ever discussed. It's just like, you do it for the cash. When I opted out of that, known trajectory, I was just like, first of all, that's a bad deal. Second of all, like, what if we built it from the ground up? Like, what does that actually look like? That would impact how many hours you work. That would impact who you work with. That would impact how you interact with your customers. That would impact how you think about growth. Like, it just, these questions of like these philosophical questions of why do I want what I want and what am I willing to do or not do to get there are super powerful. And people, we teach people how to ask those questions. and we ask these questions. We believe that if we can do that for our students, we can do that for a company, we can set a role model, like exactly what companies like Podia and others are doing. That just has a collective downstream effect to other companies, other people's, other families, and other people's lives.
I love that it's coming from a place that is personal for you and how you want to set up your life, but you've recognized also that the kind of joy that brings you and the ability to build things around what you love, you're bringing that to other people. You're setting an example in the way that you've set up your company and the way that you've designed your products. So I think that's fantastic.
Thank you. And like I said, I stand on shoulders of giants. There's a lot of people that have blazed the trail in this kind of new way of leadership, new way of product design, and new way of setting up companies. And we're happy to just be like one part of that momentum.
All right. Well, Khe, thank you so much. It's just been an honor and a pleasure to get to speak with you. Thank you so much for all of the insights you've shared. I know our audience is going to get a ton out of that. And again, if you want to check out Khe's work, you can go to radreads.co, or you can also check out his products at 10k.radreads.co. Khe, thank you again so much.
Thank you, Ben. It's been a pleasure, and thank you all. Appreciate you watching.
Huge thanks to Khe. Definitely go and check out his work. And if you're looking to build a website, sell digital products, or grow a community, you can do it for free with Podia. Just go to podia.com/signup and get a free account. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.